This is a presentation on how I did assignment 1. You've seen this already. I'll run it one more time just to get the feel for it. Put in the first name, last name, select phone number, just a fake phone number, select the city where I want to reside. I'll say Chicago. Now I'm going to enter some comments. Home away from street noise. Who doesn't want that? Click the button, and we get the response. So let's go look at some code. That's the description that we had originally, but go over here to the HTML file. Now, I've got a new bit of CSS going on. Notice that I have it in a CSS directory below where we are. So actually, before I go any further here, I want to look at the directory structure so you get a sense of this. And look over here as well. The first tag is an image tag, which has the logo for King Real Estate as a JPEG file. It's also in a directory called Images. This / indicates that this is one directory below where our file is that we're running here, this HTML file. Let's go look at the directory structure for a second. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going in my C drive to the XAMPP folder, and then down to the www. Now you can see I have a bunch of things here, but most importantly I have assignment 1 for both the HTML file and the PHP file. I mentioned that I have a CSS directory. See, it's one level below the 3 W's. So I click on the CSS directory, and we see that I have king_1.css, and that's the one I was referring to in the file. Likewise, with images, I have the kinglogo.jpg. So that's where it needs to be in your structure in order to be found properly. Back to the code. So, heading, there's your post. It's calling the PHP file. First name, last name, just like we've done in the past. The contact information. Now we have a radio button. Remember that radio buttons have to be named the same. So we get the behavior when one gets clicked, the other one turns off. So I have a phone and an email, different values. And I made by default the radio button for the phone number, checked. Now down here I have the text field named phone or email, and it's a size 50 because I want to be able to hold a good size email. We go down to the next level, the city where you reside, and we add the select list. I gave it the name of city and a size of 1, so we only saw one item at a time. Now here's a little trick. I made the first option just be a hyphen. That's so the user would have to make a choice to have any kind of reasonable city put there. Now at the moment, we don't have any code checking that they didn't select the hyphen, that they made a city choice. But in the future, we're going to lead up to that where you can validate that and give them some kind of warning message if they didn't make a selection in that field. Likewise, the comments are just a text area, multi-line comments, 40 columns and 5 rows deep. Okay, and the submit button. So let's go look at the PHP code now. So again, I've got CSS file here, king1css, and the logo. The thing about PHP is it doesn't repeat these things automatically. We were on one HTML file, but then when we click the submit button, we call the PHP file, which is really just an HTML file that may have PHP code in it. So it's a whole brand new file. Now the top of it looks very much like it did in the HTML file, because we have to respecify the logo and the CSS. That's okay. Just do it that way, and it'll have a consistent look and feel. Notice our heading here, though, says thank you, because they've clicked the button. We want to give them some information, thank them for putting in the information. So here, right now, we're just redisplaying everything. I collect the data, and notice that I collect the phone or email choice, and I also collect the contact choice. Rather, the phone or email is the information they put in, either their phone number or email, and the contact choice is either that they selected phone number or email. So we move down, and at this point, I'm able to get away without using any decision logic, because in the radio button, I put something that was meaningful. So it says here, your contact choice which is going to be phone or email, is whatever they entered. Again, at this point, we've entered no validation, and that's something that we're going to want to do in the future as we learn more about how to control PHP. Everything else is pretty much as you've seen it before. Comments are repeated. Remember, we have the disabled property and we have the class text disabled. I'm going to quickly look at the CSS file so you can see that again. I've got all the different input tags and select tags and text area tags and putting the style on it. And there's the text disabled tag, which makes the background a light gray. That ends my presentation of how I did assignment 1. Hopefully the coding that you did was somewhat similar, and if not, hopefully you got something out of seeing the way that I did it.